Hello, back again. I'm using this video to recap what my results were from the Topps Doctor Who Timeless case that I bought not too long ago. I'm going to show all my hits. Before I get on with that, I have this that I'm going to be showing throughout the video. It's just a little bit of a vote for you guys to help me decide what box of cards I should get next. Here's 6 things that I'm considering for myself, but if you have an idea, add it into the list. When I reach 25 subscribers, I believe I'm currently around 7, I will decide which box to get based on the number of votes. Let's try to be realistic. Let's not make it a box from like 5 or 3 years ago that's hard to find, like some Star Wars ones probably. But feel free to vote if you want to specify. If you just want a Walking Dead box in general, just say Walking Dead. But if you want like Season 4 Part 1 or Season 5 or something, please specify. Alright, let me get on with this. Now, when I bought this case, I just wanted to see what an example of the cool cards in an entire case would be, because I was starting to wonder if maybe sellers were figuring out a way that they could spot a position where the pathetic box was versus the really cool box. As far as I could tell, there wasn't a way to see that, but of course it's not like I bought 2 cases. Was it worth it? I spent about $600. It was almost worth it just for like the Christmas like feel of like, satisfaction after satisfaction. I don't know if I got any card that I would consider like super brag worthy. Like later I got Jenna Coleman in a signature series box or pack, box. That is like by far the coolest card I've gotten. But let me show you what I got. Here's an example of this is one of the minor cool things, is you're more guaranteed to get these parallels that are numbered. I got the red one, the Christmas Invasion, 13 out of 25. There's a whole bunch of these that you get in an entire case, but here's just some examples. A blue one and another red one featuring 3 of my favorites. But I mean, that's just kind of like a bonus thing. The more substantial hits I'm going to show you from least cool to coolest in my personal opinion, roughly. By far the lamest is the Headless Monk costume, and I didn't get 1, I got 2, both of purple parallels. I got, out of 50, I got numbers 23 and 47. My understanding is you'll probably be lucky to sell each for $5 on eBay. But what could have been worse is if I had bought one single box off eBay for about $60, and this was one of my 2 hits. So yeah, I'm sure every case has some things like that, but at least it's easier to deal with it if you're getting the good stuff that I'm going to show later. Alright, next is, every box had a medallion. The bronze ones are obviously not so great. It all kind of depends on your character. We got Tegan from the end of the 4th Doctor's era and most of the 5th Doctor's era. I like this era, so getting any of the characters from this era is kind of cool, but not necessarily the most brag-worthy. And we've got Jo Grant from the 3rd Doctor's era. She's cool. I like the 3rd Doctor's era, but most fans, I think, that are buying this stuff probably are gravitating towards the modern era. That brings me to Donna. That was pretty cool, but bronze is kind of common, but still pretty fun. Sarah Jane Smith from the 4th Doctor's era, and I think she might have been along with the 3rd Doctor, but I'm not really sure about that. I haven't watched those in a while, and I haven't watched all of them. She's a classic companion that also comes along in the modern series, so she's really cool. Amy Pond, one of my favorites. I had already had this one. It's the only duplicate I had gotten, so I mean, this was a quick way to stock up on a good collection of these medallions. The War Doctor, bronze. Really cool character, especially for as little as he's in the series. played by John Hurt, of course, the late John Hurt. Then David Tennant, many's favorite Doctor. He's up there, but he's not my absolute favorite. Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor, arguably the most popular. He's up there for me. Him and Tennant are in the top 3 for sure. I mean, he might actually be my favorite. I really haven't seen all of them to judge. Then I'm going to put this in here. We got my cool costume relic from the box, or the case, was David Tennant, a part of his, it looks like his shirt. It's a blue parallel. 84 out of 99. That's pretty cool. And then it got interesting because I still had 3 more medallions, but they were 2 were silver. I got Sarah Jane Smith, and the silver ones are out of 25. The bronze ones were out of 150. I got the 25th of 25. And then a War Doctor silver. He is the 18th out of 25. As far as silvers go, those are 2 of the cooler characters to have gotten, in my opinion. And I did get a gold, which is, it's the first of 5, featuring the 10th Doctor. I mean, that's, as far as medallions go, this might be like the most brag-worthy one you could get, other than one with a signature. I mean, if it had been like a gold Nissa or something like that, it would have been cool, but I mean, this is the 10th Doctor. That's a big deal. Nissa's one of my personal favorites, but she isn't for everybody. She's also from the 4th and 5th Doctor era. Alright, so that moves me on to, I'm going to talk about some plates. I did get a magenta red printing plate for the episode featuring the Pyramids of Mars, but I seem to have misplaced it at the moment. It's floating around in there somewhere. I mean, it's kind of cool, but I mean, it's just, I mean, printing plates are cool, but they're not my thing. I did get this printing plate featuring, it was my first significant hit, featuring Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor, and it's the yellow plate. It's one of a kind. It's really cool. I like that it features a Doctor as opposed to just an episode, even though that Pyramids of Mars one is actually a really great episode. I've seen that one, and I recommend that serial to anybody that is looking for some old Who but hasn't tried it out yet. Also, side note, the villain in that is also the voice from the Beast in the Pit episode featuring the 10th Doctor, 2-parter. But anyway, yeah, this was cool. I mean, it would be amazingly awesome if it was the actor's autograph in it, but as far as I know, Matt Smith has not signed for any of these yet. Now I'm going to move on to the autographs. These are my favorites because, I don't know, I like the actor actually was presented with the sticker that winds up getting signed and then put on the card later. My understanding is that's how it works. Let's see, starting with least cool, in my opinion, is probably the they call it the Bad Wolf, but I've also seen it by other names. It's Martha Cope. It is the 27th or the 17th of 50. I mean, it's kind of cool. It was a great episode, but it's better than a person in a monster suit, but it's not like the characters or actor means much to me. I mean, the storyline was great, but it's okay. Next, I would say is 9 out of 25's Frances Barber. She's okay. Madame Kavorian from the 11th Doctor's era, I believe. I haven't watched that episode in a while. I think they were the people that were after Amy's baby, but it's, like I said, it's been a while. It's obviously not too bad, but it's not amazingly awesome either. Yeah, it was the purple, so there's only 25, and it's the 9th one. If it's purple, that's a little cooler. Personally, I prefer the significance of the actor over the rarity, which will come into play soon in my evaluation. Next is Daphne Ashbrook as Grace Holloway, which was the 8th Doctor's love interest in the 90s movie. It is 43 out of 50. She's not too important in the series, but any companion's pretty cool. Usually better than just a guest star, in my opinion. And I like that this is like maybe a fourth of the movie as far as the cast that matters. That leads me to Eric Roberts as the Master from the same movie. He's really cool. I like other movies he's been in. He was one of my favorite hits personally. I figure I'd just mention him in the same time as the love interest from the movie. So it's like there's an Asian kid in the movie and there's the 8th Doctor himself, and you get those two, and that's anybody I'd really care about from the movie. Next is Joe Grant from the 3rd Doctor's era, and this is 17 out of 25. She's cool. I mean, she's a companion, so it's something I would want, and I do appreciate the older era. But then I also think about how, this spot, if they're rationed out a certain way, I mean, theoretically she got a modern companion spot, and usually I would want one of those actors over this one, but it's still one of the top cards in the box, or the case. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the rarer cards by their numbering, but I don't necessarily know how I feel about them as actors. There's the red foil Tommy Knight. He was in the Sarah Jane Smith series, and he also comes into some of the 10th Doctor era. This is the 7th out of 10 cards because he's a red foil. That's really cool. And I do like that he's from some really good episodes featuring the 10th Doctor, but I mean, you think about all the other people it could have been, and it might have been more exciting. I really should watch the Sarah Jane show now just to have get more interest out of having gotten this. But even worse than that, in my personal opinion, is I did get a gold card, a 1 of 1. And it actually happened the way I would have liked. I saw that I got a 1 of 1, and I was like, oh my god, for like a split second, what could I have gotten? And here's what I got. Whoever this Elizabeth Faust is that was in this suit, I believe, of the Slovene. It's really cool that it's only one of a kind, but it's like I think I would take just about any other autograph over this. I mean, so then that makes this much cooler. But it's not like I'm Big Dane. Now, my favorite pull out of the entire box or case was probably this. I learned about this as I was opening them, that they actually had, because when I bought it, I didn't even know that plates were so featured in it, because in ones I'd gotten, I never even had seen a plate in other series. So I did get a plate, and it's autographed. It's the magenta Sarah Sutton as Nyssa. As I mentioned earlier, this is actually one of my favorite companions. I just think she looked really cute. So it was cool that I got her, and as opposed to so many other possibilities. But so you tell me how you think the case went, and maybe feel free to share who you think was your personal opinion of like the best pull or least impressive pull. Defend or agree as you may like. I always like reading comments, and also please vote and subscribe. I'd like to get more boxes, but I also want to see more people watching. Thanks, and see you.